So in this video, we're going to look at how to create a very simple template for building a page in HTML. And so the very first thing you're going to put in your template is the doc type statement. And it's going to look like this. It's a little confusing when you first see it, if you've never done HTML before. But basically, this is a statement that is telling the browser when we open it in the browser that this is to be read as an HTML page. And so you need to copy this phrase exactly as you see it. In modern HTML, HTML5 is the current standard as I make this video. Everything should be in lowercase. And you have this tag essentially that begins with the angle brackets and then the exclamation point, doc type. And again, that's just declaring the type of document we're looking at, and then HTML, and then close the angle bracket to tell the browser we are building a page in HTML. Now, once we have the doc type statement, then we're going to start laying out the structure of our HTML page. So basically, we're going to start with an HTML tag. And then when we're done with the HTML, we are going to have to close the HTML tag with a /HTML. This is generally how HTML works. There are a pair of tags, opening and closing tags, and they are exactly the same, except that the closing tag has a slash in front of the name. Now, within these HTML tags, again, you can kind of think of these as the like a set of parentheses. This is where all of your HTML that's going to be displayed on the page should go. And then inside of that, we're going to have two sections. One is going to be the head section. And again, it is also going to be closed with a closing tag that is, again, basically identical to the first one, but with the slash. And then there's going to be a second section for the body. Oops, I can't spell. And then again, the body will close with the /body tag. Now, the head material is basically what is going to go into the browser tab. And we're going to fill that in a little bit later. But that's what's going to be displayed in the browser tag. There are sometimes other things will go in the head. But then the things that are going to display on the page itself are going inside the body of the two body tags. Now, one thing to kind of keep in mind is that HTML doesn't really read spaces and carriage returns. So it is usually useful to add lots of extra spacing and carriage returns in order to better read the page. I've indented some of these tags one space. Sometimes using tabs can create some issues. So I just do it by spacing. But it allows you to see a little bit more of the structure more easily. And as I said, HTML isn't going to read any of those. You have to put in paragraph tags or break tags or things like that where you need the spacing to appear on the HTML page. So all of this is just for organizing your code. Now, what inside the head tag is going to go one very important tag, which is the title. And this is going to be the information that appears at the top of our page in the browser tab. We'll come back and fill this in later, but normally you would put in some text here to describe the name of your page as you want it to appear on the browser tab. Now, within the body, we have additional tags that are sometimes referred to as semantic tags. And these tell us sort of what is the structure inside the page display. And so we start out with the header tag. And so the header tag is going to be the information that is going to appear always at the very, very top of our page. Typically, it includes the name of the page and the purpose of the page. You know, what is the name of your site? Is this the home page or the About Us page or what have you? But anything that you want to appear at the very, very top of the page goes in the header. Then there's also a nav section that we can include. Now, the nav section is going to be for navigation. So typically these are put like right underneath the header, but they can also be put further on to the bottom of the page. But typically this is where you would have your main set of links, and then, you can use CSS and other things later on to style this in a particular way if you want different kinds of navigation layouts. Then there is the main tags, and the main tags are where most of the content, the body of your page is going to go. And this is within the body, but nonetheless, this is where sort of your print and your text content are going to go. If you have a form or links or a table, that is where it would go inside the main tag. And then we have one additional piece that we can include, which is the footer tags. And the footer is something that, like, as opposite to the header, is going to always be at the bottom of the page. So we'll always follow the main content. Sometimes you can put the navigation structures under the main section if you want it to appear at the bottom of the page. Footers are also often places where you might put source information or footnotes or, sort of copyright information or things like that. Anything you want to always appear at the bottom of the page. Now we're going to go look at what this looks like in a plain text document. So this is the file. I've saved all of our body and navigation structure tags. Again, the main section where you will put your paragraph text. But I've saved this as a simple template. Now, the way that when you're in a text editor, you want to save this as a simple template is you will go to the Save As. Now, this is in Notepad. This is what most Windows text editors will look like. You're going to go to the Save As, and normally this will come up with a text document as the default. You want to select all files. And then after your simple template, you want to add .html to the tag name. This is what is going to save this as a HTML page and not as just a text file. This is what will tell your computer that you want to open this in your browser. And I already have, so I'm just going to save over it. And then what we can do is we can actually open this file in our browser. So that's what I am going to do next. And there shouldn't be anything on the HTML page when we open it. And if I switch over to that, this is actually what it looks like. And you can see in the URL here that that is the simple template that I was just looking at. Now I can modify this from here and we can see it appear on the screen. So if I go back to my template and I add something in like the title, put the name of your web page here, then this is going to appear in the browser tab if you have fewer browser tabs open than I do. If you want to put something into the main section, again, text content usually goes inside these paragraph tags. You can also put titles and headers inside that appear at the main top of the page. They can go in here, but you can actually see things appear on your screen as you start entering these. So we can say, hello world, not in the header. Let's actually put this back down here in the main section. Hello world. Welcome to my web page. Now, if I save this and then I go back to my web page, I can reload the page and this information should display. Now, if I reload the page up here, then you can see, hello world, welcome to my web page. I put that in that main section and now it appears directly on the screen, and the tab actually now says, put the name of your web page here.